In 1901, divers pulling treasure from a 2,000-year-old shipwreck brought up statues, jewelry, coins, and one corroded lump of bronze the size of a shoebox that nobody wanted. It sat in a museum courtyard for months. Then it split open, and inside, an archaeologist saw something impossible. Gears. Precision-cut bronze gear wheels in a device built more than a century before the birth of Christ. It took 100 years and X-ray technology to understand what it really was. Stay to the end, because the question this machine leaves us with is bigger than the machine itself. The story begins with sponge divers sheltering from a storm near the tiny island of Antikythera between Crete and the Greek mainland. Diving for sponges, one of them surfaced in panic, babbling about a heap of corpses on the seabed. The corpses were bronze and marble statues scattered around a Roman-era cargo ship that sank around 60 BC, loaded with Greek luxury goods. It became the first great underwater archaeological excavation in history. Amid the treasures, the crusted bronze lump was cataloged and shelved. Item 15,087. Nobody guessed it was the most important object ever pulled from the sea. When the lump cracked open in 1902, the sight made no sense. Interlocking gear, trains with teeth barely more than a millimeter long. Inscriptions in tiny Greek letters. A dial. A crankshaft. Understand the problem. Nothing with this mechanical complexity appears again in the historical record until the astronomical clocks of medieval Europe, 1,400 years later. It was like finding a car engine in a pharaoh's tomb. For decades, respectable scholars simply refused to believe it. Some insisted it must have fallen into the wreck centuries later. The alternative, that ancient Greeks built gear computers, was too uncomfortable. The breakthroughs came with technology. X-rays in the 1970s revealed 30 surviving gears. Then, in 2005, a team brought an 8-ton CT scanner to Athens and imaged the fragments down to fractions of a millimeter, revealing thousands of hidden inscribed characters. The machine came with its own instruction manual. And here's what it did. Turn the hand crank, and pointers tracked the sun and moon through the zodiac. A tiny silver ball rotated to show the moon's phase. Dials counted the 4-year Olympic cycle. And a spiral dial predicted eclipses years in advance, including a gear train that models the moon speeding up and slowing down in its orbit. That lunar trick alone uses a pin-and-slot mechanism that engineers consider genuinely brilliant today. Whoever designed this was not experimenting. This was mature, confident engineering. So who? The inscriptions suggest a connection to Corinth or its colonies, which points towards Syracuse, the city of Archimedes. He died a century before the wreck, but Roman writers describe him building bronze spheres that modeled the heavens. Cicero, writing in the exact decades the ship sank, describes such devices as real, known objects owned by Roman aristocrats. Which means the Antikythera Mechanism was probably not unique. It was one of a tradition. The others were melted down for their bronze, or still lie under the sea. Think about what that means. An entire school of precision engineering, workshops, teachers, apprentices flourished in the ancient Mediterranean. And it vanished so completely that its existence sounded like fantasy until a sponge diver got lucky. Here is the thought experiment historians love. If that knowledge had survived and spread, if the gear computers of Syracuse had met the printing press centuries early, where would we be now? Some argue the Industrial Revolution could have come 1,000 years sooner. Others say knowledge without cheap energy goes nowhere. But the mechanism proves one thing beyond debate. Progress is not a straight line. Civilizations can know things and then forget them for 1,000 years. And the wreck is not finished with us. Modern expeditions returned with robotic diving suits and found more. A bronze arm, colossal statue fragments, and in 2016, a human skeleton, a young man who went down with the ship. Archaeologists believe more of the mechanism, perhaps a second device, may still lie under the sand. Today, the fragments sit in Athens, still being decoded, still surprising researchers. A pocket universe built by hands 21 centuries dead. If lost knowledge and impossible artifacts fascinate you, subscribe. History is full of things we were not supposed to find, and I'm telling their stories one by one.